Oh, what is up, brothers and hosts? It's Optic Midnight, and today we're back for another episode of Power Down with me, Optic Midnight, and Amanda the Jedi.
Hell yeah.
We were going to have a guest this week, but my life is in shambles, and we're doing this on a day we're not even supposed to be doing it, uploading it on a day that we usually don't upload it, and that's just kind of how she goes. So hopefully next week I'm going to see if he's still interested. He probably is. He told me he's down, so... it should be a good time, but for now it's just going to be us. We have a lot to talk about, actually, and I actually opened up my Dear Midnight email to you guys again, so you guys can submit questions for advice, and do you think we should do like one advice question per podcast?
I'd be down with that, unless there's like a week where there's just so many different topics, but like weeks that we don't have guests, or even weeks that we do have guests. Let everybody weigh in.
Dude, guess advice, because I was going to say, we're pretty good at giving advice, but Amanda, I feel like you're a little better at giving advice than me.
Maybe just a little bit.
Because, like, I went to Amanda for advice.
Yep.
And she hooked it up, dude.
I hook it up all the time.
You're a good friend, bro.
Thank you. I do what I can.
You are such a good friend. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. But we do have a lot to talk about this week, too. Even though there's no guests, there's still a bunch to talk about. Should we get this out of the way? Because during the middle of the week, you messaged me. You were like, Dr. Disrespect podcast topic. And I was like, wait, what happened? Like, we were just talking about his meteoric Twitch rise, or like, what happened? And she's like, no, look at this video. And I'm sure, I'll still link it in the description down below. But I'm sure a lot of you guys saw it already. He basically went live for like 2 or 3 minutes. And he's clearly very upset, wearing like not his doc uniform or whatever, dress up thing.
Out of character. He was
out of character, yeah. Like he was his real self. Yeah. And he's very upset, crying, saying that he's going to take a break from streaming. And he was unfaithful and he needed to spend time with his family. And he's sorry to his sponsors and the Slick Daddy Club. And then it ended. And it sent Twitter and the internet, the Twitch community into like... It was really weird. Like, there was a lot of people sympathizing with him, which... I have a hard time doing it. And I'm not like best friends with him or anything, but I consider him like a friend or an acquaintance, right? Like I would have his back, if he needed me to. Yeah. But I like totally can't agree with cheating on your wife. I mean, I think they have a kid and everything. And I don't think, I mean, I don't know, if you're like friends with somebody and they do that in their personal life, I don't think that means like you can't be friends with them. But
you don't have to completely. It's like some people are like, oh, just you should forgive them no matter what. But it's like you can still be okay with them and be friends with them, but still acknowledge the fact that it was like
super shitty.
Super shitty. Like you can like people that do super shitty things, and I'm sure that a lot of us have done things that we would consider shitty. But some people are just like, oh, it's fine.
No,
like if this was you, if this was your parents, if this was like your friend, if this was your relationship, you would be so mad if your friends were like, it's fine.
It happens, whatever. I mean, it does, and that's sad part is it actually does happen quite a lot. And honestly, I don't think that like I'm a big fan of a comeback story. Like I don't think that his life or his streaming career or his marriage is over. Like I think that's up to him and his personal life. My thing with it was like, obviously I think what he did is terrible. Like I have literally no respect for people that cheat. I've never cheated. I'm not going to put you on the spot, Amanda.
No, I have not.
Hey.
I have not.
Have you been cheated on?
Yes.
God, what's with it? I think it's like once you get cheated on, it's like you're just never going to cheat on anybody else.
I know. Or some people do the opposites, but like she did it to me.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get even.
I'm getting even.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
not a good idea. But yeah, I think like that's obviously terrible for him to do to his family. But the most interesting aspect of it to me was just at first I was like, wow, like I respect how open he was, because that takes a lot to like admit really like that you fucked up really bad in front of that many people and for so many people to judge you and talk about it and.
Yep.
Like letting people into your personal life or like your relationships and stuff can be really dangerous on the internet because then everybody's got an opinion, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really interesting. But the more I thought about it, I was like, that's kind of like, why would he do that? I don't understand why he would do that.
it's kind of like getting ahead of the situation. Maybe he had a discussion with his wife and that was how they decided that it would be best to deal with it, to like
Yeah,
take
like she
ownership of it and
she
put
would
it
want
out
to
there
like humiliate him
publicly.
basically.
Maybe
But
not
like
her humiliate him, but just kind of like, I want you to be open and honest with your fan base, and like, this is what you can't just be like, I'm taking a break. I'm
yeah,
at
it
the
doesn't make
rise of my
sense.
meteoric whatever. So rather than make a bunch of rumors, or there's a chance that the person that he did do it with was threatening to go forward with it,
Yeah,
so he was trying to get ahead of it.
there was
But
even like rumors on Twitter of who it was, and this poor girl
yeah, I
was
know.
getting like accused of it and stuff. It was crazy. I was like, damn. Like,
Yeah, I
why
didn't
would they
watch the
be
drama
mad at
alert on it, but
her? You should always be
well,
mad at the person that cheated on their wife and
well,
child.
if she knew about it, she is also culpable.
True,
It's
true.
like it's one of
I
the,
agree, but
and I
I'm
think, and they did, like, it's
yeah.
pretty public knowledge, even when he was accepting his streamer award, which I guess that was kind of
Oh yeah,
recently ago. He
everyone
still
knew he
mentions
was
it.
like married or whatever.
Yeah,
So that
so
is shisty.
you
I th-
blame both people. You blame both people, but if you're going
Not
to
equally
attack her,
though.
you better be attacking him just as bad. Like,
Yeah,
if your reaction is to attack,
I
you're
saw
attacking both.
people were like, "Yeah, it's all good, Doc. You slay." Or how could he not with all these girls throwing himself at him? Like, bro, what? That
That's
makes
just a
no
cheap
sense.
excuse. That's a cheap
Yeah,
excuse. Yes,
that's
obviously you
whack.
get put into a position where there's more people trying
Yeah.
to come at you and stuff, but it's a poor excuse to say that that's a valid reason for somebody to
It's
cheat.
so not. And I saw so many tweets saying that, and I was like, holy shit, these people are so young because that's so not like how life should work, in my
It's
opinion.
not. Especially
Um,
when you have like a kid, that's like a pretty serious commitment. You know,
oh,
like at
yeah,
that
like
point
you're
like a wife
down.
and a kid, like you have made a commitment, and if you don't want to be in that situation anymore, you should make the steps to leave. But it seems like he does want to be with his wife and is now making the
Yeah.
steps to
He
like to work on that.
kind of seems like maybe he made a mistake. And people do make mistakes. I'm not making an excuse for like cheating on your wife or whatever, but
No,
it does happen. This is a common thing that happens. It sucks. It's not. I think it shows a huge lack of respect and self control. But like,
yeah,
it's fixable, and so I think probably it's
agreed.
good that he's gonna take a big break, and he'll. I think his stream will be fine. You know, people made their jokes like, "Oh, the 2 time" or whatever. You know,
Yeah, I know.
like I get it, but I think he'll be fine. I think it. I don't know exactly. I am more interested to know why he would do that stream, just because like it opens so many people into his personal life. I even
Yeah.
saw some people theorizing that like he's so like self-centered that he feels that he has to share and show what he did wrong for his community. But
There's
I
a
don't really
lot of
think
different
that's
options.
it. I don't really
I
think that's
honestly think
it.
it's just trying to get ahead of it. That my
Yeah.
immediate thought was just trying to get ahead of the situation. That if you're the one who comes out with the story first, like you control the narrative a little bit more.
Yeah, like Kevin Hart.
And we don't know. It could have been like his wife was like, you need to be honest with people so that they can know that you've done something wrong or whatever. Like they can't just, because it's kind of tough because I guess sometimes when you're a public figure and you're going through that stress in your marriage and no one else knows and you're upset about something and they're all like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it must be so amazing, being in a relationship with this person. He's so cool, blah, 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 blah. Like
Yeah, and like you
that could
don't
be
really
really hard. So
know.
maybe she wanted the honesty out there, or maybe it is just he wanted to do it. But I really think it just came down to controlling the narrative of the situation.
People
Maybe
have
that's
done
not
that
what it was for,
like
but
people do that all the time with relationships. Like even like when I've let like my viewers know about my past relationships, like I think that's a mistake nowadays. Like they have an opinion. They're like, when stuff is maybe going wrong in the relationship and they're like, "Oh, you guys are perfect." It's like,
it's
okay, no
stressful.
relationship is perfect
No,
ever.
never.
Like
No,
it's so hard. And so it's I don't know, it's weird. It's definitely weird when everyone has an opinion about your personal life. So I think I
yeah,
don't know, it was ballsy and I respect his honesty. I'm a person that hugely respects honesty. Obviously cheating is not an honest thing to do,
no,
but to own up to it instead of hiding. Cuz even
agreed.
like if some chick was like, "Oh yeah, I got with Dr. D." Like he could have just been like, "Eh,
She lying.
you lying. She's a liar."
Yeah,
But what's interesting to me that I also saw got brought up on Twitter was if the roles were reversed. Like, let's say it was a married woman who
mm.
got with like, a guy on and cheated on her husband. Like, I feel like nobody would have been like, "Oh man, she couldn't help it because so many guys were coming at it." Like, that would so not
Yeah.
be what was
I
being
don't.
said.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that would have been the reaction. I'm trying to think of other like high profile like married streamers, but I can't
What
really
about
think.
when? Well, I don't know. I guess I'll dredge this up. Clayster got cheated on, and everyone
Right.
super ragged on that girl
Oh
really
yeah, they
hard.
drug her. Well, she did all sorts of stuff.
I
She
don't.
tried
Yeah,
to
I don't
play
know. All I know
victim.
is what they put on Twitter, which I
Yeah,
think was a
she put
mistake to put
just
on
as much
Twitter.
on Twitter. So
Did
like,
she? I don't even follow her. See, that's how much I
no,
don't know. By the way, I don't know.
yeah, no, she tried to like blame it on being depressed, and it's like,
Oh,
did you just
solid
It's
strategy.
like one thing to be depressed and like, and I'm like, some people were going too far. Like some people were telling her to kill herself, which is never an okay thing to do. But man, the way that she was reacting to things after it happened, I was like, Jesus.
Damn, what a dumpster fire.
I felt so bad for Clay in that situation.
I did too.
And
I don't mean to like be mean and bring up his business or whatever, but he put it on Twitter. Like I said, dude, you can't open your shit up on Twitter, man. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
But at that point, if the relationship's so ingrained and it ends, like,
true.
Yeah, at that point, if somebody does that to you, you want to drag them. You want to drag them. And then like Nufo went after it. It was great.
Damn, I missed a lot.
It was like, I was keeping this in for months. I'm a drag this snake.
She knew the whole time that Clay was being cheated?
She didn't know the cheating. She was just like, basically, I had to pretend to be really friendly with her because we were all like, because I'm dating, Zuma. She's dating Clayster. We had to all be like really friendly. Yeah. But like the stuff that she said about me, she used to tell me, like try to convince people that I was the one who was unfaithful is what like, that was like the Nufo situation. So the second it all came out, she was like, I'm going to drag this snake. And I was like, oh my God, this is great.
Waiting for
But yeah, it's kind of like similar and people did drag her. But in that situation, she like
kind of really screwed up.
She screwed up.
Yikes, man.
But yeah, I would say that girls in that situation get dealt with harsher. But I'm trying to think of it in a situation where it's like his wife obviously isn't really in the community or anything. So you'd have to find an example where
tweet at his wife.
Yeah, you'd have to go in a scenario where the female that cheated on the male would just not be in the community and just see how people react. But
yeah,
it's rough.
Yikes.
It's rough, but yeah, people are obviously going to try to give them the benefit of the doubt because it's like you see it all the time. Like you want to give your friends the benefit of the doubt in the same situations that you would normally condemn. If it's happening more personally to you, you're going to try to find ways to justify it.
Yeah.
Than if you had no connection to it at all is obviously a very common thing to see.
Super not good, man. I mean, I said, I think he'll be able to come back from it. It's not the worst thing ever for it to happen to a streaming career anyway. I think people might look at him a little bit differently now. Like I personally look at him a tiny bit differently. I mean, honestly, his personal life is none of my business. So I just thought it was a really odd thing though. Like when I saw the video, I was like, damn.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He kind of made it everybody's business at this point.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I feel bad for his family.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like figure out who did it or who it was or anything.
Yeah, I don't care.
I just took everything at that. I didn't watch the drama alert on it or.
Why would not me neither? Why would people go after who he did it with? I mean, obviously, you have to respect people's relationships. Like, if you see somebody that's like in a relationship, that's off limits automatically. Like, it shouldn't even cross your mind that you should be like, hey, So obviously, whoever was his partner was really messed up. But I don't know. I just thought it was really bad, dude. Long story long. Honesty is the best policy, and be faithful to your family.
Yes, absolutely.
Or your partner. Cheers. You know what else sucks? Dude, I'm so good at transitions. Your car.
My car does suck. Dude.
What happened?
I don't know. The starter malfunctioned and killed the battery. So like when I came home from Texas, it wouldn't start at the airport.
Yeah, I remember that.
They managed to get it jumped. So I was like, okay, the battery might be going. We were like, there's probably something happening that's draining power from the battery when it's not on, which could still be an issue my dad's going to look into. So we're like, okay, we got it started though. So as long as we just keep starting it, it should be fine. So it started up fine the next day when I left work, and it started up fine the day after that when I went to work and left work. And then I went to New Jersey for that charity stream.
Oh yeah, I was going to say how that went. It looks like we can talk like mad money.
Yeah, we can talk about that, right? Oh, yeah, I'll just mention now. We did a charity stream for a children's hospital, so the Children's Miracle Network and Extra Life, and we made over $8,000 in a 24-hour stream.
I felt like freaking awful, bro. I didn't tune in. I was like in the middle of moving all my shit.
I know, it's cool, but we did amazing. It was a really good time. I was awake the longest, which I feel very proud of because like the people that were with me were people who have terrible sleeping schedules, who stay up all night, and I still made it the longest.
Well, how long were you awake straight?
Well, we basically nobody got much sleep the night before for whatever reason. It was rough. So I was awake from it. Basically, I took like an hour nap from, maybe not even a full hour, from like 8 a.m. to like 8:45 or something like that, or like 8:30 to 9:45. Like 8:30 to 9:30 or something. I was back in the room by like 9:30. So, and then I had a 2-hour nap after it was done, and then I started streaming again while everybody else slept.
That's insane, dude.
Hustle. And daily uploaded the entire time.
Yeah.
Hustle.
I have uploaded 2 podcasts in the last 2 weeks. Dude. Dude, moving has really been stressful.
I know
though.
it is.
It's so hard.
Moving's terrible. Moving's so stressful.
It's I'm a pro. I'm a pro at this point.
At this point, you would be.
Like, I don't want to buy it or sell into the stereotype, but I could U-Haul the frick.
You could U-Haul the frick out of anything. Yeah. I believe it.
Dude, like, I'm good at moving. I can pack everything up right away. I
believe.
Arrange everything. I had to switch my internet again. I had to, like...
I would say you're not necessarily the best at unpacking.
Yes, I'm actually terrible at unpacking. Also, I was unpacking like on stream though, which made it very difficult. Like I probably would have whipped through that shit.
I'm just watching on stream, and she's like, "I'm making my setup," and she's like, "Here's this empty bottle of Beats. Here's these poster frames." And I'm like, "Ashley, why aren't you going for the setup essentials and then deal with the effery?"
If I was smart, I would have like got everything prepared and then started my stream. But I was just like, whatever. I just want to stream. I just want to talk to you guys, like my stream. So
and you told me off for like 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes later. You're like, "You know what? Amanda the Jedi might have been right." Well, you were just like, "Amanda, this is my process."
Amanda, I did. I said,
this is my process. And it was like 5 minutes later, you're like, "Actually, no, this was a bad idea."
Dude, hashtag Amanda's always right. Good advice.
Yeah, but anyway, so we get my car. So my car, basically, because I then left for New Jersey, sad again. Jen was supposed to start it while I was gone. I forgot to remind her while I was away. But at this point, I don't think it would have mattered because it wasn't the battery. It was, but it wasn't. The starter malfunctioned and killed the battery, basically. So we tried jump starting it like all day yesterday, and it did not work. We could at one point it was like completely dead, and then we finally managed to get the lights and stuff back on, but it like would not turn over. So I get it towed by CAA today.
What year is the car?
2006.
Okay.
Either way, so she goes to the Coast Tire and they fix it. And they're like, "Oh, it's the starter malfunction and it killed your battery." But luckily, I'd replaced the battery last year, so it was still under warranty.
Ooh, lucky duck.
Yeah, so the battery was covered, but the starter was not. And it took them like 4 hours to fix it for some reason, but they only charged me for 2 hours labor. They said it was because it was hard to find the starter, but I'm thinking that the guy might not have I think he might have been messing around. And then they fixed another wire and they didn't charge me for that. But still, all said and done, it was like $240 for the starter. Plus tax, obviously.
That starter's like $100, bro.
I know, but either way, $240 for that.
And like $70 million for labor.
It was $170 for the labor for the 2 hours. Yep. And what sucks the most is that if I had just driven it home last week when it was still starting, my dad could have fixed it for like a fraction of the price. He would have based the parts. My dad could have fixed it for the parts.
Yeah.
So it was like $170 for labor, then $42 to change the battery, which apparently because that does not count as the labor. Dang. Who knew? But then they fixed the wire for free, this wire connector thing, which I'm like, okay, cool. Then it was $20 for like shop parts or something. And then at $523.32 later, I have my car.
Sweet.
Merry Christmas to me.
You're going to have to drive it to New Orleans, it sounds like.
Dude, that's like a 32-hour drive or something.
Yeah, I'm driving. Yeah. It's like 7 or 8 hours for me.
Yeah, there you go. I do that.
Would you drive that or would you fly in an hour and a half?
It would depend on how much money I would save or how much money it would cost. Because like I know PAX East is in Boston, and I consider driving. If it was the same, I would take a plane easy. God, if it was the same price, even if it was a little bit cheaper to drive, I'd probably still take a plane for convenience. The only thing that sucks about flying is the airports.
Yeah, being on a plane is like the most relaxing thing. Airport's a 3-hour process at least, and that's if it doesn't get delayed.
Not where I live. Okay, where I live, I can walk in 10 minutes before the plane boards. I'll make it through security and on the plane with no issue.
Okay, but you live a bumblefuck. I live near the biggest airport, DF Dub, okay?
Yeah, it was the best airport I've ever been in my life.
I love Dallas-Fort Worth Airport, and I hate airports.
Yeah, security moved efficiently, and then you walk in, there's a freaking IHOP Express, there's a 7-Eleven, there's a Chick-fil-A, there's a Chipotle. Dude, yeah. Like, what isn't there?
They have mad restaurants. And I mean, it's not that abnormal for an airport to have restaurants, but I like it because
like a 7-Eleven?
Yeah, it's so big and like all the gates, like it's clearly labeled. Like at least in Minneapolis, when I would fly out, it would say, okay, you're on Delta, your gate C or your terminal C, go to terminal C. And then I might have to walk all the way down like a mile stretch. It's horrible. Right?
Yeah, Pearson's like that. But this
DFW,
is so good.
It's so split, and it tells you right away you're at gate C31 or whatever. And so then you're like, okay, where's the entrance for that? And then it has its own security line. Like they have way more security lines. It's so much better.
And there's these comfortable chairs everywhere that have plugins, and I'm like, yes.
DF
I love
Dub
it.
for life.
I love DFW. Word.
I'm low key like loving Dallas and Texas the more I'm here.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to like it.
Yeah, it's really cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should move.
Just wait.
Here.
Just the struggles of
No.
Canadians,
Dude, yeah, the struggles. I was gonna. Oh wait, so we covered your car. We covered the charity stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we really want to cover me moving. I moved again. If you guys can't
Actually
tell.
moved again. I like the background better, honestly.
Do you? I need more foam.
I was gonna say, other than needing a little bit more foam, I think it looks a lot cooler.
Cool, man.
Big fan.
You like it better than the? So I had like well you saw it. You were there. My whole like little room for just my setup was so cool.
Something I don't like when there's too much room between where the desk is and the wall, and I feel like there was a lot of room between your desk and the wall at your old setup.
I just put it in the middle because I knew I was moving again.
Fair.
So
Valid.
yeah, I didn't fully like. If I were to actually have that room as my setup room, I would have done it completely differently. But I literally just put everything in the middle of the room and was like, fuck it. This is it for a month or two. Like, that's how I thought about it.
So. It's terrible.
I know. But, hey, man, I'm mad at you like Tupac, and I'm much happier now. I'm happy.
There you go.
I'm
it
happy.
looks good.
Yeah. And it's a lot smaller. Because that apartment was kind of big.
It was.
Right? It was a little too big for just me.
Like, I literally didn't see your bedroom and thought that was totally adequate.
Oh, my bedroom
space.
was freaking huge, dude. I had 2 walk-in closets. I had a whole other section that I could have put a setup, which one of the reasons I got it. The bedroom was massive, and it had this huge bathroom attached to it. It was a huge, like, apartment.
Just unnecessary.
Yeah, well,
Well, at the time it was necessary,
at the time I got it, I thought I would make better use of this space.
Yes.
But then I didn't have to. So, but now I'm in this like 1 bedroom and everything's it's cozy though, bro. Like I love it. Like I love that I finally have like my stuff on the walls. I'm a big fan of stuff on the walls.
Same.
I like having like my things out, and it's just awesome. I'm happy, bro.
Good. Happy. That's what counts, is being happy.
And I'm so happy my mom came down to.
That was so nice.
Dude, I know. Like she surprised me. It was like a few days before. Because I was just going to move like pretty much by myself. Like I was going to maybe see if like one of the guys or someone from Optic would like help me out a little bit, just a little bit. Just like, hey man, can you help me carry this up the stairs real quick? But like she was like 4 days before or something. She's like, oh my God, I looked and there's an $85 or $87 ticket for this weekend. And I was like, what? The Ubers are going to cost more than that. So come down here. So yeah. So... I mean, that's good. It's because DFW is a big hub airport. It's like the 3rd biggest airport in the United States. You got LAX, DFW, Atlanta. So,
really, Atlanta's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, that's what somebody told me.
Big, but I assumed like Newark was.
This is a powered down stat, guys.
Okay,
this is a powered down stat. Someone told me that, and I believe them. So I don't know. But
LAX was a pretty big airport, though. I remember I went on an adventure to find.
Well,
not LAX. I mean, LAX is like 2 airports now.
Yeah.
I meant Atlanta was pretty big because I went on an adventure to find Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Atlanta's big, and I know like New York has 3 different airports that are all very close to each other.
Yeah, LaGuardia, something else.
LaGuardia is the worst airport.
Newark's in New Jersey.
Have you ever been to LaGuardia?
No, I have not been to LaGuardia.
It is by far the worst airport I've ever been in my entire life.
Very bad things about LaGuardia Airport.
Like horrible. Yeah. I would always land JFK. Never go LaGuardia if you can help it.
All right.
It's the worst.
Damn.
No offense if you like love it. Sorry. But...
I don't think anybody like loves. Man, there's certain airports that I like if I have enough of a layover that I know where I'm going to be able to get where I need to be.
Yeah. For sure.
But other than that, no.
Dude, there was one other thing I was just going to bring up, but I forgot. Hashtag professional podcast host.
Professional.
I know what I'm talking about. Man, I can't remember.
And you can't remember?
It was something about like with my move, but I forgot. Oh, I was gonna explain. Well, I think I already explained last week, like why I had to move again. It's basically like a timeline thing. Like I had a little bit of a different timeline than some of the other guys because I had to put in like a 60-day notice at my apartment in Minnesota. And so I was like, yo, when are we moving? What should I do? Should I put my 60 days in now? And they were like, yep. And so I was like, okay. So I did. And then like pretty soon before I was actually supposed to move, there was a little bit of a pivot to where we were going to have the offices, which like I totally understand. Like I want people to know that like I was mad that I had to move again.
But you're
Obviously,
not
who
mad.
wouldn't be? But I was not mad at Optic in any way because it happens. This is a huge move. This is a huge, like, company-wide move. There's so many different layers and things that needed to get taken care of. And so, yeah, it kind of just sucked my timing, and I couldn't, like, just stay at my other apartment longer because I was, like, a week before I was supposed to move. They already had a new people that were coming in. I had all my stuff, so I'm like, F it. I'll just go to this apartment in Uptown, which was the big one that you were at.
Yeah. Which it was nice. It was a nice experience. It was a good place. It was a good place to find yourself.
Man, I don't know. I had like pretty much the worst month of my life up in there.
That sucks. I loved it.
Really bad.
I was there for like a day, and I was like,
I mean, honestly though, the novelty wears off pretty quick when you don't know anybody and you don't know where anything is.
Ashley, that's why there's like apps.
What kind of apps? Like Tinder? What are you saying?
Yeah, you meet people, Ashley.
Bro, I'm not going on. Listen, I was in a state where I was not down to go on Tinder. Amanda.
That's fair. No, I totally get it. Tinder's kind of a messed up place. You don't want to be there anyways.
I think even like as a single person, Tinder is not attractive to me. Like, I don't like meeting people. I've never been on it. I've never downloaded it. Girl Scouts honor.
Girl Scouts honor.
But I don't like meeting people under the pretense of like expectations and like, okay.
That's when you put it in your bio.
But whatever. Everyone puts it in their bio, and then we gotta type back and forth, and there's already like expectation or just interest.
I'm terribly sorry, Ashley, that you don't want to meet people in 2017. It's fine.
I know it's the wave. It's how it has to happen. Like,
no, it's weird. It's weird.
I know you can stand outside a Whole Foods, dude, with a sign that says like, "Hey, I want to hang out. If you're cool."
You can try.
I mean, that's a good video idea, I guess.
It's a really good video idea.
It is 2017.
Set up a little, just set up a wee little camera.
I was in a committed relationship for a very long time before Tinder was even out.
Yeah.
So now it's like I've been birthed back into the stratosphere of like, what the frick am I supposed to do?
Use a millennial now.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, I'd rather just meet someone like normal.
You can still
But I don't go outside my apartment. How? I
told you. I was like, you got to go outside. You're like, no.
I do. I have to go. I'm just going to go stand at Whole Foods. So, nah, I'm not interested in that, though, for real.
No,
I got my own stuff. I'm really excited to get to work.
Stuff.
I'm going to be focusing on that. Like,
making money, Ashley, remember?
Oh, dude. Remember? That's what you told me, remember? It is.
I remember.
I remember when. I'm basically focused on, do I call it my career? I don't know.
It's a career.
I don't want to say I'm focused on making money. It makes me sound like terrible, but.
No, you're focused on building your career.
Yes,
and taking advantage of this opportunity that you have.
Yeah, because like, no lie, like up in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, I got real like stagnant, dude. Like I was kind of low key depressed. Like it was not good. And now it's like I've been given this amazing opportunity and I'm going to take full advantage.
People would kill for it, Ashley.
Yeah. People that are Jedi. Oh, I remember what I was going to bring up. I was going to say, I can't have a podcast with Amanda the Jedi without at least bringing up the new Star Wars movies. This is going to be no spoilers.
Yeah.
But like, I'm basically the worst person ever to talk about Star Wars with.
Yes.
So I'm sorry in advance.
That's fine.
But I was going to ask you anyway, just because I'm a considerate gal.
Okay.
How did you like the new Star Wars, Amanda?
Like when I first walked out and when I was watching it, I was so hyped. I thought it was fantastic. Like the pacing for it was really good. And it's like one of those things that like when I left and the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? This wasn't really dealt with the best. They could have done this better, but it still had some of like the best scenes that have ever been in a Star Wars movie ever. So like there's some 10 out of 10 moments and there's like a couple 4 out of 10 moments. So I think it levels off at around an 8.
So, like, was it like they made it too long or?
No, it definitely wasn't too long. It was just like they made certain choices that, like, when you think about it, you're like, why didn't they just do this? Or why did they do this? And, like, if they had just done this instead, it would have been better. Like, it's just very little things. Like, there was a couple things that were, like, so well done. I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. That's never been done in this before. Like, holy crap, that looked so cool. Like, this is the first one that they really show the fact that there's, like, different lightsaber battle styles. So, as stupid as that sounds, it's just kind of like, it just adds a little flair. Instead of everybody just being like this, a couple spins, it's like some of them like get into these weird stances and it's just,
like some cray shit.
Yeah, it's just really cool to see knowing like, and I knew that was a thing. It was like, oh, such and such has this style of parry or blah, blah, blah. Cause I read the books cause I'm a nerd, but
there's books.
Yeah, there's tons of books. There's an entire extended universe, Ashley.
What?
Yeah, there's an entire extended universe. I
Like
always said that.
official Star Wars?
Yeah,
I
they
keep
were
saying
literally
Starbucks.
they were official canon up until the newer movies came out because like some of them went into the future, so they've basically just erased all of that. Like they're still around, but they're not considered canon anymore. But then there's like old Republic stuff that's still safe because nothing really touches it. But so like I knew that was a thing. It's like
Sure.
some people, but either way, it's like some people do this kind of styles for this reason. So like it's kind of cool to see that in action. Like I said, there's like some stuff that was so very cool, and then other things I was like, that's kind of weird. But I liked it. I would see it again.
So like
sure.
so there's 3 that came out 3 years in a row now, right?
Yeah, but the one that came out last year isn't actually for the main story. In between, I think they're really like Disney's trying to like pump this shit out. They're called Star Wars stories.
It, bro.
They are.
So wait,
they are.
so hold on. Explain like a 5. The last 3 movies that came out are not in like a direct line.
No. So basically, 2 years ago, 2015, Force Awakens came out. That was the first installment of a new trilogy.
Rated out of 10, quick.
Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Like a 7.5 or an 8. It's a very solid movie start to finish, but it basically just cut and paste the story from the original one from the 70s and then just adds new characters. They just
like I should low-key watch that as my first one.
That's the one you should watch. I've just filmed a video called What Order You Should Watch Star Wars Movies in. I just have to edit it and upload it.
Can I raise my hand?
Yeah, there you go. So that one's a good one to start with.
I was raising my hand because I'm about to tell you. Like,
yeah.
I saw Star Wars when I was a kid. Like, I watched the old movies.
Well,
I saw the ones with the pod racing and Darth Maul, like in the
theaters. Those aren't the old ones. Those are the middle ones.
But I saw those, and then I also before I saw those saw the ones from the 70s.
Okay,
so I've seen it.
So you're good.
I don't want people to think I haven't seen it.
Okay, I think it was better before you said you hadn't seen it. I think it was better.
Ignorance is bliss, bro.
Yeah.
So but either way, I should see Force Awakens, and then the second one that came out. Go ahead.
So then the second one that came out is called Rogue One, and it's basically just an additional story that leads into the original one from the 70s. Like you know how when it basically starts. Yeah, it's a prequel basically, but it's not any of the same characters. It's basically the people that get Leia that plan for the Death Star. It's their story of how they find that and get it to her.
So why is that interesting in any way compared to these other movies?
It's just an additional story. You get different characters. That one ended up being really cool because you get this like super, super menacing scene with Darth Vader like totally tearing up a hallway, which is the coolest thing he's ever done.
Darth Vader is badass as fuck.
Yeah, but this is the most badass he's ever been. There's a scene at the end of this movie that is super badass. And the movie literally ends with them handing Leia the plans for the Death Star and her turning around. And then from that point on is literally when she would go record that hologram in R2-D2 and be like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Like it literally leads right into that. And then New Hope would start right after that.
Rate Rogue One out of 10. Quick.
Rogue One out of 10. I would say, I feel like it's tough too. I would say it's like a 7.5 or an 8 again, because like, none of the characters matter because they don't tie other until it gets to the very end. None of the characters matter. They're just there to like progress the story, but it has some amazing scenes. And like I said, that Vader scene hands down is one of the coolest things that has ever happened in a Star Wars movie. Like you should just look up that one scene. Like I'll find it for you later because it's so cool.
I kind of want to watch them, but like,
that one's more of a war story. It's more of a war story. It's literally
I just don't get how the movies are unrelated, or like why are they coming out with a prequel?
Because they're literally milking it. So like next year there's a Han Solo story coming out, which is just a separate side story for Han Solo. So basically the original Star Wars trilogy is like, or like the original saga is technically the rise and fall of Darth Vader. So like the prequels are like Anakin Skywalker growing up, becoming Darth Vader. And then when episode 4 starts, it's following Luke, but it's literally taking down Vader and helping him realize his like the good inside him before he like dies, you know?
Damn,
all that stuff.
Spoiler alert.
Come on. So original, so it's basically Rise and Fall of Darth Vader. So now there's this new trilogy that's like the generation forward. So like the main villain in this one is like a relation, like related to the Skywalkers, and it's like pushing that forward in that way. So it's kind of its own separate trilogy, whereas the other ones were their own separate little like self-contained saga, but so these side stories are just ways to milk things. So this is the second movie in the new trilogy.
I would want to just skip the side stories, I think.
Yeah, you can skip the side. See, the other ones, it's just, it was just kind of cool to see it, how it literally melded right into the beginning of New Hope. So it's like all this stuff happens, and then you start piecing together like, holy shit, that's Leia's ship. Like right when it's getting attacked by Darth Vader, and it's like super, super tense. Even though you know what happens, it's still super, super tense.
Rate cool. The Last Jedi out of 10 quick.
I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
So
for
all
like
of
a Star Wars
these movies
movie,
are getting B's from Amanda the Jedi.
Yeah. So, but that's like Last Jedi
normal?
has some literal A+ moments. Like there is one scene, battle scene with lightsabers that is like the best thing I've ever seen. It was so good. I liked
Were
it.
you
It's one of
like
the top.
geeking out or what?
Yeah, I was. I was like, this is one of the best lightsaber battles I've ever seen in my life. Like this is just so good. It's not just like couple swooshes and the guards are dead type thing. It's like, whoa.
Super cool.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I
So
liked it.
cool, man. I'm glad I asked. I'm
But also,
sorry I have no input or opinion.
no, that's fine.
If you don't know, I'm not the biggest Star Wars. Like I said, I watch the movies. That's what, like, people just assume I've never seen. I literally have watched them, and I never connected when I was a kid to them. When I was a kid, I liked more realistic things, like
That's
realistic
fair.
movies. I really hated fantasy or like anything to do with fantasy or space. I did not like as a kid. So like I didn't watch Star Trek, even though it was on all the time. Like that's
Yeah.
just how I
Well, I don't.
was.
Star Trek and Star Wars are not similar. Let's
I
just get
know,
that.
no, I know, but like I just mean like they're both fantasy, right?
Yeah,
Like
I know. Yeah, yeah,
space,
yeah. No, I get
aliens.
it. I'm like, and there's things
Dude,
I like more than Star Wars. Like,
are we done with Star Wars? Because we need to talk about the
yeah,
aliens.
we did talk.
Have you
Yeah,
seen
we
that
could talk.
video?
Yeah, I did. We
I
could talk
saw it
about the
on Reddit like
aliens.
a week ago.
Yeah,
I will link it in
exactly.
the description, guys. I'm gonna do the tags again. I know I'm doing them sporadically, like the timestamps of what we talk
Yeah.
about in the podcast. I try to do them every week. I was wondering if maybe like y'all, one of you guys in the comments would be interested in doing timestamps, and then I'll just pin your comment and give you like mad love or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, there's this video of this guy from 2004, Air Force fighter pilot, uh, seeing this kind of like tic tac shaped, oblong, round,
It's like
weird object
kind of
moving.
spinning around
Yeah,
like a
like
nucleus in a.
spinning.
If you were looking at like a cell in a microscope, it
Yeah.
looked like that, you know?
And like this was declassified by the Pentagon. Like this
Yeah.
isn't
So it was
some
filmed in
dumb stuff.
2004, but it was recently declassified by the government of the United States, and it was
Right.
captured by the Navy.
Yeah. And so basically, you have to just watch the video, but what are your thoughts? Also, I mean, do you believe in aliens, first of all?
I believe that it is foolish to think that we're the only thing in the galaxy that is alive. I don't know
Co-sign.
how
I believe that too.
complex things are out there,
Yeah,
and
right.
there's a bunch of different, or if they're in our solar system, or if they're in our galactic range or whatever. But like, I think that out there has to be something else, and there's a bunch of paradoxes and stuff about like what it means that we haven't actually contacted anybody, but maybe we have, and they're just not telling anybody.
I mean, I don't know. I've seen, you know how the internet is. Like, they'll
Yeah.
go buck wild over this stuff. So I saw a bunch of stuff like, yeah, they know and have been, understanding all this stuff and they never told us. Like, I don't know if all that's true, but like, there's definitely some life on other planets, and it'd be really naive to think that there's not, just with how everything works. Like,
Yeah.
how do we know there's not some planet like a bajillion light years away with like a little amoebas on it? What I'm more
Yeah.
interested in is like intelligent life, like
Yeah.
humans. And this all
Yeah.
kind of depends, like, I guess, on either religion or what you believe scientifically,
Yeah.
how that could possibly happen. But I don't know. I think our view of what aliens are is really weird. Like a green, skinny, weird looking guy. I don't really think that's what they look like.
Well, no, but that's why, like, in all sorts of different media, there's so many different explanations for what they might look like or variations,
Dude,
and some of
my
them look like
favorite
us, and they're just slightly different.
my
What's your
favorite
favorite?
alien movie lately was Arrival, bro. That shit
Oh yeah,
freaks me out, dude.
yeah, that's cool. That one's really
I
cool.
love that movie. I want to rewatch it now. I love
Yeah,
that
it's a
movie.
good one. It's a good one.
Aliens are scary, bro. Are you
Alien,
afraid of
oh,
aliens, or do you think it's just like whatever? What can you do?
the fear of aliens just stems from the fear of the unknown, like you don't know, and the fear of not being the dominant species. Like you're afraid
Yeah.
because even if you know that like a lion can fuck you up, but you still know that you have the power to make something that could fuck up a lion in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
You know?
I have a
We
gun.
we
Lion
and I
dead.
think the thought of something being smarter than us is threatening to a lot of people. So I think that's where the fear of that comes from. So I would obviously be scared of an alien if its thought was to like take over us, but then at the same time, like I know that we would definitely have thoughts of colonizing other planets, and if
Oh,
we ran
dude,
into life
yeah.
forms, we would mess them up too. Like it's like we're
That's
just scared of ourselves,
that's
basically.
the
We're scared of
worldly way.
ourselves.
That's
Yeah.
the human nature, bro. Is
Yeah,
to
we're scared of
evolve and
ourselves.
take over, and it's crazy.
Manifest destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that you mean
I'm
by
not
that,
gonna I'm
but
not even gonna bother. Let's just say that we stopped yours. Yeah. But yeah, there's like a lot of different explanations for like aliens or why we haven't made contact with them. Like I think there's an entire thing called like the Fermi paradox. And
what's that?
It's something like this might be dumb because I'm kind of forgetting, but it's
Powered
like
down stat.
It's info. Like basically we should have already been visited by extraterrestrials in informal conversation. So since there's no solid evidence of this, it's either suggesting that the intelligent life either is extremely rare, doesn't exist, or they've just never tried to contact Earth. So like it's just one of those things. And then there's the possibility that like when they contacted was so long ago and now they're gone, or there's like they're still coming type thing. Like it's a very weird thing. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that what they saw in that video is more likely to be man-made than alien-made.
Probably. It's just kind of the way that it turned. It like it was like this, and then suddenly it turned like this, and it was moving in a really erratic way. But since nobody's claiming it is the issue. If it belonged to somebody, it would be American, Russian, or maybe Chinese. I can't think of anybody else who would have anything. Some
like top secret ass thing.
Then the government, well, if it was a top secret to a different country, sure, that's possible. But I feel like that's the reason why they only declassified it now is that they've been trying to figure out who potentially owned it for the last, like 13 years and haven't gotten an answer and then declassified it. But it doesn't mean that it didn't belong to somebody. I don't think it's American. Otherwise, America wouldn't have declassified it.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have sent the Navy.
Because it kind of gets everybody a little hyped up, yeah?
Yes.
Hyped up. You know what I'm hyped up for, Amanda the Jedi?
What?
Giving people great life advice.
Oh, hell yeah.
If you guys want mediocre life advice from two slightly more experienced than average people, and this could be about school, work, life, relationships. Yep. It doesn't have to be relationships. It could be whatever. Like, oh man,
and it could be friendships. Don't think it's just like love relationship. It could be friendship issues.
Friendships has drama too.
It could be your coworker smells bad. It could be anything.
Life is
Let
hard.
us know. Life is hard. Let us help you navigate.
You need bad advice from us, okay? So I have a question.
Okay.
I think...
I've not heard this yet.
I've not told Amanda yet. I believe that this is from a female in her 20s, and it seems to be a same-sex couple situation.
All right.
But I still find it to be extremely relatable if you're in a straight relationship or whatever, gay relationship, whatever. Hold on, I have to drink water. This is a long one. Are you ready,
dang.
Amanda?
Okay.
Yeah, this is
I'm
a lot.
ready.
I barely skimmed it too, so I actually didn't even think of my own advice before this moment.
Here, look, I'm gonna get my brain primed. I'm just a little.
Oh my god.
Code Jedi 30% off until the end of Thursday at midnight. Code Jedi 30% off. What?
Pinky dab. Okay, dab it in there.
I'm primed.
Thanks for that. Okay. Dear Midnight and Amanda the... Oh, by the way, if you want advice, send it to dearmidnight@gmail.com. MIDNIT. That's how you spell it. Okay?
Yeah.
This is long. Okay, recently I found out that one of my friends I always go to if I need someone to talk to, let's call her Hillary, is now seeing my ex-girlfriend. Let's call her Erin. When I was dating Erin, she and Hillary were best friends. Erin broke up with me mid-summer of this year. Hillary was basically the only friend... Hold on. Hillary was basically the only friend that is close to Erin that kept talking to me and supported me, even though she was best friends at the time with Erin. So it sounds like this. Yeah, Hillary girl was playing both sides of the fence there.
Maybe a little bit.
Anyway, or actually, she says anyways. The way I found out that Hillary and Erin started dating was by an Instagram photo that Erin posted. Oh, that sucks. I am pretty hurt that Hillary... Also, I don't mean to make a joke out of your situation. It's actually really sad.
No, not at all.
I am pretty hurt that Hillary didn't tell me personally that she started dating my ex. She told me she didn't know Erin was posting the Instagram photo. That is a terrible response.
I hate it when people say that.
Oh, I didn't know she was going to do that, bro.
No,
sorry.
I messed up. I didn't know she was going to post it publicly. Right? Jeez.
But even after she knew Erin posted the photo, she waited till I texted her about it to talk to me. I messaged like 3 hours after it was posted. Yikes. Should I be mad at Hillary or be forgiving that she didn't know the photo was being posted? I also really want to text Erin and start some shit because I feel like she knew that post would hurt me. Oh, no. Ooh. I really don't mean to laugh. I'm not laughing at the situation because that honestly, makes me feel so sad. Like,
yeah, because we've all been in situations like that.
I've been in this situation before.
I haven't been in that situation, but I've been in similar situations where like my ex basically cheated on me with somebody that I worked with, and it was like, what?
My ex in high school cheated on me while we were dating with my best guy friend.
Woo!
Yeah. And I didn't know until way after we broke up. So we broke up, and he was my number one support system. And
Oh,
I
I
didn't know the whole
hate
time.
that.
Yeah,
Drag.
and then she just couldn't hold it in anymore. And we'll answer your question, but I just gotta share this. She just couldn't hold it in anymore, and she told me, and I was like, homie. And then he denied it, so I didn't know what to believe. I still don't actually know fully what happened because she was kind of crazy, but he was too. And like,
Yeah, I don't
definitely
believe it.
get this, bro. One night we were all hanging out, the three of us, right? And I was one of the only people that had a car in my group of friends. So I would give people rides all the time. And we were hanging out one night, and I was dropping him off, and he got out and like hella hugged her, like really long and kind of a cute hug.
Got you.
And like it planted the seed. I was like, that's
Planted
a little
the seed of
strange,
doubt.
man. And then I found out all this stuff. So anyway,
It planted the seed of doubt the same way that Palpatine planted the seed of doubt in the Jedi and Anakin Skywalker.
exactly. I've seen the movie and know exactly what she's talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so anyway, so she says, okay, I don't know if that all made sense, but if you got advice, that'd be great. So basically, this girl's like really good close friend that she confides in is dating her ex and isn't being open with her about it. And she's kind of mad at her ex for posting it on Instagram.
Okay. First off, don't try to start something with the ex because it will make you look petty even if you're right.
Yes. It is not wrong that she posted it on Instagram. Even though she probably does know that it would hurt your feelings. Like that would hurt anybody's feelings. Like no matter if your ex is with somebody, like you're definitely not throwing a party when they get with someone new.
Yeah. Hillary definitely should have had a chat with you about it. I get that it's awkward, but if you're going to be somebody's primary support network and then date the person that they were with, you should have a conversation with them and be like, because honestly, this happened. My friends had this situation happen.
Oh, this happens. This is like in the lesbian cycle. This is like common.
Yeah, but this is a straight thing too. Like literally, my friend literally had a conversation with somebody that she knew had a relationship or had a crush on the person the guy that she was going to start dating, and they had a conversation. She asked, she was like, please tell me how you feel. Please be honest. I'm not trying to hurt you. This is just something that happened. So like,
it's better to just be honest.
You can deal with it, especially if they're still your friend. If they're not your friend, like whatever. Like I'm not going to go ask if I'm going to date somebody. I'm not going to ask their ex permission if I don't know them or care about them. But if it's somebody that you consider a friend, yeah, you've got to have that conversation. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to hurt them. And like whatever Erin's intentions were, it's not worth it to start things up with her because it'll just make you look petty even if you're right. And honestly, just living your best life is the best revenge against her BS.
Oh, yeah, dude. You break up. You just want to improve yourself, right?
Yeah. Live your best life.
So screw the ex. I mean, obviously, it sucks. Like I said, nobody's throwing a party when they see that their ex has moved on.
No, of course not.
Like,
but then with Hillary,
she fucked up.
You got to be like, and this is your choice whether or not that's something you feel like you can forgive. But if you feel like it was one of these, like I gave her like a lot of intimate details about my relationship with this person, and now they're together.
Which she could have used on Erin.
Yeah, exactly.
As an advantage, which is unfair.
Exactly. And vice versa. It just feels like you will always feel like you can't have an honest conversation with her because whatever you say will eventually potentially get relayed back to your ex.
Dude,
and if you don't want your ex in your life,
they've probably just been giggling and shit about everything.
Yeah, and maybe they weren't. But if it's just one of those things that if you don't want your life discussed with your ex, that you might actually have to cut ties with Hillary. But I still think it's worth having the conversation, being like, I just want to let you know that like you really should have dealt with this better. You should have come to me in a more mature way.
She was going to post it on Instagram. That's not an apology.
That's not an apology. That is
not
really lame. And honestly, I just think that you can do better, even if it feels like you can't. But somebody who cares about you isn't going to treat you that way. They would deal with it maturely. They would be like, look, I don't know what happened. Like, we just started talking, and then for whatever reason, like this just kind of built into a relationship, and I really care about her, and I'm very sorry if you feel like we can't be friends anymore.
That happens.
But it happens. You can't control who you end up falling for. And even if you think that it's stupid that they're falling for your ex because you know that your ex is XYZ things, you still kind of have to let them maybe make the mistake. But then you can also, they have to acknowledge that you can then make the choice to just be like, I am separating myself from the situation and you. I don't want us in each other's lives right now.
Bro,
like,
can I just say, I love you so much, dude. Like, you are, I agree with everything she just said. Like, you are a god at advice. I don't think I would have phrased it just as well as you did. Like,
I have a degree.
You do. I mean, I mean, it does suck. Either way, it sucks. But I think that your friend, she's maybe not really your friend, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I feel like that's probably a bridge that you have to be willing to let die. But I would still just at least bring it up and point out, like,
well, yeah, that was shitty.
You know, like,
who doesn't think that was
messed up. Yeah, exactly. It was just a messed up way to deal with it. It could have been dealt with better, and you deserve to be heard in that. But at the same time, like I said, if you don't want your life to be discussed with your ex, this is probably not a friendship that you can keep.
Hand raise. All right, so you said no. I have to say something.
Yeah.
So you said you can't really control who you fall for. So your friend who like maybe was playing both sides of the fence and
That's also possible.
fell for your ex-girlfriend. It happens. It sucks. But the fact she wasn't honest about it is really shitty. Like that's against
Yeah.
like bro code, right?
It is. And even
You
if
have
it's
to
going against that, it's
follow.
just against not being a crappy person. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
didn't
that's
think she was
basically
going to
what.
post it on Instagram. Like, what are you going to do? Keep your relationship alive forever? Like, no, you're not. Like, grow up, have a conversation with somebody.
That sucks,
Like,
dude.
yeah.
Either way, I feel really bad. That really sucks. That's a bad
Yeah, it does.
situation. Either way.
It is. And like, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to walk away without a friend in this situation. But
Or at least a friend that you could trust.
yeah, exactly. Like, you
It'll
could maybe
be
still
like,
hang out with them, but you can't confide in her anymore. You
oh,
know
yeah.
that that's not something that you can do, but like, you'll come out stronger in the end. You'll be good.
Yeah, you will. You'll be
okay.
all right. Just go
You'll
stand
find the
outside
right
of a Whole Foods.
or that. Yeah. Thanks for the contribution, Ashley.
That's going to be it for our segment of bad advice with Amanda and
Hey,
Ashley.
my advice is fantastic.
Your advice is actually really good, but we're going to call it bad advice.
Okay, we'll call it
Also, in the comments, if you have advice for the question that was answered this episode, put it down there. Yeah. Or if you have a question of your own, some advice. Like I said, it doesn't have to be relationships. Could be about anything. Hit me up, dearmidnight@gmail.com. We will answer them maybe on the podcast.
Yeah.
Please don't send me creepy emails, though.
No, don't do that.
Thanks.
Please don't. Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Dude, okay, so right before I started the podcast, I was like, Amanda, I have a little idea for a little bit. I wanted to bring up most embarrassing things we've ever done in front of like a crush or like a girl or like a boy that you like or whatever, like in front of like a cringe thing that happened in front of, you know what I'm saying? Like not your most embarrassing moment, but more like
I can't think of any specific moments.
Please, dude.
No significant like statistically. If I'm into somebody or if I think they're cute or something, I just try to show off. So I just do stupid things like try to climb things. If we're out at a bar drinking, I will try to climb things. I will
parkour.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just be like, it's not quite as bad, but I almost turned into Michael Scott in that episode of The Office where he realizes he's on a date.
Yes.
When he realizes he's on a date and he gets to like the little French hat out, and he's like just making a like I'm not quite that bad, I'm not quite that rude, but it's kind of like that.
I don't know if I do stuff like that. I totally get what you're saying. They're like, hey girl, want to see me set my hair on fire? Ha ha ha. Like it's not good. Don't do that.
No.
So you don't have one moment where you were like, wow, this is so cringe.
No, like I said, the worst thing I ever did when I was asking somebody out was I got the yes and then said, you can say no if you want to after I got the yes.
Wait, so you were like, hey, want to go out sometime? And she was like, yeah, that sounds great. And you were like, you can say no though.
Yep.
Oh, that's not that bad, dude.
It's kind of bad.
Nah, it's not bad. She probably was like, oh, maybe she was nervous or something.
Yeah, it was fine. It worked out. Awkward charm. It's the way to be.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Look at you playing like a false positive or whatever.
It's not a play. It's just an unfortunate.
My most embarrassing moment, it wasn't necessarily like a specific, like it'll make sense once I explain it. So this one day I was pumping gas at a gas station, right? In my car that I referred to earlier, my 1994 baby blue Chevy Lumina, my first ever car. Thanks, Grandma, for the car. Appreciate you. Are you looking it up? It's not the van. It's the actual like sedan. It had bench seats, which I loved.
Okay.
To put it nicely. So yeah, I was like 16. Yeah, I was like probably 16 years old. I had a job at the mall and I went to go get gas before work. And I was like, I must have been tired or zoned out or something like that because I was sitting there pumping gas and I was like leaning against my car, arms crossed. And I just started pumping gas and I literally went into like a trance or something. I don't know. I was just totally out of it. Wasn't paying attention. And all of a sudden I see this like car pull up and these girls are like, hey, you're getting gas everywhere. And I look around and I'm like, I see gas like pluming out of my fucking gas tank. It's like spreading all over the concrete. I'm wearing Chuck Taylors. It gets all up in my shoes.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, thanks, whatever. And then they started laughing
Of
and
course.
fucking drove away. And so I put the fuel pump back, and I like, honestly, I was so embarrassed. This is so bad. I was so embarrassed I didn't tell the gas station at all.
Actually, that's dangerous.
Dude, I just left. Like, I like paid and
Wow.
left. Like, I prepaid and I left.
Okay, yeah.
And so the reason this is cringe, though, is that one of the girls that saw me, that's the first time she ever saw me, and she was actually my future girlfriend.
Damn.
So
well,
when
hey,
I
well,
met
it
her
worked
for
out.
the first time, she told me that she saw me once at the gas station, and I was like, "Oh, really?" And she was like, "Yeah, you like overfilled your car like a lot." And like I turned so red. I was like, "No," cuz like
That
immediately
is
when I met
awesome.
this girl for the first time, I knew. I was like, "Uh-oh." You ever just meet someone you're like, "Uh-oh. This
This is
is not
trouble.
going to go well for me."
This is trouble, but I'm
You're
still going for it.
yeah, you're bad news. So yeah, I knew immediately. So I immediately like liked her. I was single at the time. She was
Yeah.
single, so immediately was like yes. But yeah, so she told me that, and that was probably like my most humiliating. She was like, "Oh no, I thought it was really cute." I'm like, "Oh my god, like I'm a literal idiot. How could you possibly think that's cute? Like I'm literally dumb."
That's so funny.
And it was because it happened when I was 16, but I didn't meet her until I was 19. So the
Oh,
fact that
damn.
she remembered, yeah, like we went to the same school, but we never saw each other.
Damn.
Yeah, so like the fact that she remembered that, leave
Yeah,
leave
that's
a good
crazy.
first impression, people.
Yeah, it's
Spill
always good. At
gasoline
least be
everywhere.
memorable. It doesn't have to be good. Just be memorable.
Yeah, like totally do what Amanda does, like start parkouring and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, if I ever see you parkour at an event, I'm gonna know why now. I'm gonna be like, yo,
I think
Amanda's
I've
trying
grown
to
up with
impress
it.
somebody. I
That's
could
too
see it
funny.
happen, dude. I could see it happening,
Ooh.
but
Ooh.
yeah, I don't really think I have more. I mean, I have tons of embarrassing moments, but I don't
Oh
think I
yeah,
have
I'm sure.
more.
I'm sure there's other ones, and I just can't think about them. Like my brain's protecting me. I'm sure.
Your filter is up. You're like, I'm not letting people know that happened.
No, we're done. Not today.
Not today. There actually is a lot more from me. I was kind of crazy when I was like a teenager in high
Mhm.
school.
Yeah.
Cause I was like comfortable pretty early with myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so I spent the last like 2 years of my high school literally just trying to talk to girls. That was all I tried to do. I didn't care about school. Bad decisions, by the way. Don't do that, guys.
God, that's everybody though. Everyone's all like, "I'm just trying to find love."
Yeah,
in
for
all the
sure,
wrong
dude. And like at that
places.
time, you literally think you're about to meet your soulmate. Like you're not gonna meet your
Yep.
soulmate at high school unless you are like super lucky. Like that's
It's like
insanely
one in a
lucky.
million. It's one
Yeah,
in a
like
million.
1 in a million, which I think is super cool. Like high school sweethearts, I think that's the most amazing thing. But like the odds of that happening for me in my little rural town in Minnesota, finding another girl that I was gonna or a guy that I was gonna spend my whole life with, like it's probably
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
probably
So
not.
yeah, it was. I don't know. High school was weird.
It is weird.
I'm gonna blame it. What? So the embarrassing thing where you were like, you can say no if you want. Was that
Oh,
where
I was
you
an
were young?
adult. I was an adult.
Oh,
I was like
sorry,
20.
buddy. I
I was
set
like
you up.
20.
I said that's
No,
not bad.
it's
That's
because
young.
they were at work. They were working, so I didn't want them to think that they had to pretend to be polite
Oh,
and then let
how
me
do
down
you?
later.
I don't. Okay, I've
They were a
wondered
bar
that.
photographer. So it was like it was the only time I ever saw them. So I was like,
A really long time ago, when I was single, I had like I thought the cashier was cute,
mhm.
but I wanted to say something because I see her all the time, and I wanted to
Yeah,
say something. But like they're working, so they have to say like
they
they're
have to be
trapped.
polite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
have
trapped.
to be polite to me, and they're trapped. How do you hit on that person? I think I've
It's
asked you
rough.
this before.
It's
Do
rough
you
because
not? You just don't,
usually you
right?
would dictate you don't, but like sometimes that person's in, I guess maybe you just have to like read the signs or wait
What
until they
signs though? They're like, here's
ask
your
you out.
change. Have a good day. Like
I've been asked out at work.
what? That's terrible.
Yeah,
Like you're behind the
he was hanging
counter.
around. We were talking about Tarantino movies a little bit, and then he
Oh, that'll
left, and
do
then he
it.
came back later without his friends
Oh, that guy was
and asked
fired
me
up
out.
that you were talking about Tarantino movies. I love Tarantino movies.
Yeah, they're great. They are
So,
great.
so
And we
he
were
came
talking
back and
about
was like,
them.
"You want to hang out sometime?"
No, he like was very specifically like, I was just wondering like if I could get your number, like we could go out sometime. And I was
Oh
like, thank you
man.
for being so abrupt, but I'm sorry, I'm seeing someone. Because sometimes they beat around the bush. But he was just like, this is what I want.
I mean, I
XYZ.
respect that. You got to
Yeah,
shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot. Like it is awkward though. Normally I would say don't hit on somebody at work, but it's like just one of those things. If they're into it, they're going to be happy you did it. But if they're not into it, you probably just
Yeah,
can't go back to that store
you
anymore.
gotta like, yeah, that's exactly the thing. It's like I was gonna put myself out there, but then I would have had to never go to that store again in my life.
I guess what you do is just occasionally try to like have more small talk with them, and if they're down for it, then just kind of keep going. And then if they're not down for it, because you can tell even if it's their job to be polite, you can tell when somebody actually wants to be part of a conversation.
True.
Or not.
If when you're like, oh,
Most
what are your
people
plans for the day? Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Or, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go home. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just be like, but if they're like, oh, like, I was thinking of maybe going to see this new movie sometime this weekend, but nobody wants to go.
Whoa.
Then that's like best case scenario. That's best case scenario.
That's like, wow, you just saw into my soul. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
So yeah, if somebody does that, you're probably good to go. But like, and then don't be creepy about it. Just be like, hey, sorry that I'm doing this while you're at work, but is there any chance you might want to get coffee sometime? And if they're like, no, like I'm seeing somebody, or no, if they just say no, just be like, okay, that's fine. Not trying to make you uncomfortable. Hope you have a good day. Just leave. Maybe don't go back for a couple weeks,
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, people are so afraid of rejection. It's insane.
They are.
Like,
and some people just get creepy about it. Just don't be a creep. Don't be a weirdo about it.
Don't linger.
Yeah, don't linger. Just be
linger and shit.
Yeah, just be like, okay, that's fine. Sorry to have bothered you.
Or
have a fantastic day.
If you like went too far, you're like, oh man, I completely misread the signs. I'm sorry. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You can make it chill. It
can be chill.
You're always going to find someone who's going to be personally offended by it, though. You will always find someone like that. So, like, yeah, sometimes you're going to find the person who's just like, no. And then just be super weird if you're ever there again. You might have to just stop going. But like for the most part, most people are gonna realize that you were, you're just asking. Like I wouldn't have been bothered if that guy had continued coming back because he wasn't weird about it. If there was people that were weird about hanging out, and I was like, that guy's weird, don't like that.
Or like you go to leave work and he's outside. Like I just want to double check if you could give me your number or not.
Yeah,
like,
see, that would have been weird.
That's crossing the line. You got to know when it's weird and when it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Just take the no. Oh,
yeah. And be okay with the no. Honestly, I got advice, okay?
You got advice.
And I haven't asked somebody out in like 40 years, so maybe it's bad advice. But if you go into it being unafraid of no, or even accepting pre-asking, like, okay, they might say no, and that's okay. Like, you have to be okay with it, and that'll make asking so much easier.
It's true. Agreed.
Just be okay with the possibility that she might say no, or he might say no. And it's okay if they do, because you're strong. You're your own person.
Yeah.
You're a strong,
and that just means that just sets you up for the next time. So you're more confident in asking again.
Yeah. And you practice
someone different.
So you're good. All right. Good. That was a solid 20-minute section of relationship advice. Great job.
I mean, good.
Dude, you're actually good at advice, though.
Thank you.
I'm not.
I try.
Or like I could be potentially.
I'm just weird, and like every time I say something, I start thinking of all the counters of what I've said. So I'm like, okay, well, if you do this, then this situation happens, and then this happens. So I hone it down to being like, this is the best possible scenario for what you could go for, and this is the worst possible scenario. So
okay, so you're gonna be like the level-headed, good advice person, and I'm gonna be like the
drag 'em.
I can't believe that happened. Wow, I can't believe she did that with your ex.
Draw dicks on her car.
Oh my God, the girl did draw dicks on my car, dude.
I know, trust me, you're one in a million, Ashley.
That's the reference.
That's not common.
Dude, okay, listen, was this messed up that I did, though? In high school, before the gasoline girl, I was with this one person, this one girl. I don't want to say her name. Even though I think I have before. I just don't like giving out people's names.
No, it's fine.
But I was with this girl. It was kind of crazy. It was the girl that cheated on me with my guy friend, right? And so then after, like, she stopped completely manipulating me constantly, because it was like she was my first, so I was like, dude, I'll literally do anything. I don't care if you cheat. Like, after she told me she cheated, I was like, I still want to marry you. You know what I'm saying? And so I was young. And so like, she finally stopped messing with me and she got with this other girl. And then, like, I started to realize, I was like, wow, she's really an a-hole. Like, she's really crazy and she's been really terrible to me. So
it takes it to
I don't know if that planted a seed, because I'm really not a revenge person at all. But so she got with this time. She got with this new girl, and I was still like kind of her friend. I still kind of like was like letting her treat me like trash. But eventually, I started talking to her girlfriend because we were all friends, Oh
yeah.
And just casually, like, hey,
casually,
go visit her at work.
Ooh, Ashley.
Yeah, that was wrong. I shouldn't have did
Wrong.
that. It's
You
over
should
the
not have done
line.
that.
That's
I think
against
I remember
bro
this story.
code.
Doesn't it end with you being in her bed and the person like seeing your Jeep outside?
Yeah. So
But you weren't doing any funny business. You were just
we
chilling.
weren't.
I believe you. Yo, I believe you. I'm just telling I'm just telling everybody else that it wasn't like you guys were
Yeah,
getting
let me
like
get
hot and
there.
heavy and the ex
Let me
shows
get
up.
there. Let me get
Yeah,
there.
I'll let you get there.
I just laugh about it now because this was so long ago. This
I
was actually
know.
very harmful to the person that I'm talking about. But it's so long ago. We're actually friends now, or at least like
Okay.
we hung out like a really long time ago, and we're
You're,
still
like,
casual,
civil.
like Facebook. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I
Uh,
got you.
it was a long time ago. Water under the bridge, completely. So anyway, yeah, I start talking to her girl, and I'm like, not out of spite, but I kind of just start like liking her girlfriend. I was like, just trying to talk to her more, and I think I don't know if I manipulated her or if I was manipulated or if she was seeing that she got manipulated because this
Probably.
first girlfriend was really manipulative.
Yeah.
And so like we would kind of compare notes of like what she was doing to us and we were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, damn, that's screwed up," And so then like I don't know, I could tell like she didn't really want to be with her anymore. So I was like, "You should break up with her." And she's
Do
like,
it.
"You're right." She's like, "You're right." And so they break up, and immediately both of them call me at the same time.
Oh, damn.
Can you guess whose call I answered?
Oh, you called
The
you
new
didn't call
one.
you answered not your ex. You
Yes.
answered the new girl.
So I answer, and she's like, "Yo, I just broke up with what's her face. I feel really terrible." She felt really bad because she did not take it well
Oh, damn.
at all.
She's probably not used to being dumped. People who get dumped,
Exactly.
sorry, people who do shitty things to people and like string them along are not used
Yeah.
to being the ones that have the cord cut on them.
Yes, they do not like it a lot. And she went completely batshit nuts. She was throwing things and screaming and crying and like saying she was gonna do crazy things. And the other girl was like, "Damn, this is too much. I need you to come over." And so she's like, "My parents are out of town. You should come over." And I was like, "I never thought you'd ask. I'll be right there." So I drive and I park outside. I didn't even think about it. I park outside. And we literally weren't doing anything funny. I was just being there for her. I was being a good friend. Okay?
You
I was
know,
being
you
her
had
friend.
maybe intentions to do more in like the coming weeks.
Yeah,
But at that
like I was
particular
putting
moment,
in like time.
you were putting in your time.
I was clocking in, Amanda.
Terrible.
No, I really did care about her though. I really did.
I believe
so
it.
I
I
was trying to
believe
be nice,
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
person, because
I
I
got
know how this cyclone of crazy works. The other girl.
Uh-huh.
So we're there, and then like it starts to be like nighttime. It's like 10, 11 at night. I'm in her bed because she offered me to sleep over. Of course, I said yes.
Of course.
But we were fully dressed, and we were just talking about everything. How crazy, like how we compared notes, and we came to this conclusion, and it's just been crazy. And then like so she lived in like a pretty big house. It was like a 3-level house, and the bottom level was like a basement area, but it had like a sliding glass door that went to the backyard.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden we're laying there. She doesn't have a TV in her room, which I thought was insanely weird. It's silent. We're just talking, and all of a sudden we hear knock, knock, knock on her glass door that's like right outside her bedroom. And I look at her, and like my heart, like I immediately thought my Jeep is outside.
My Jeep is outside.
And like my heart stopped, bro, because I ignored the ex's calls all night. I completely ignored her in her time of need. She was messaging me crazy stuff. And this was when I had a flip phone, so it was actually really hard to read and type really long stuff to each other.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah, so like T9 texting, "I freaking hate you" and stuff. And so she gets up and like she says that she wants her hoodies and stuff, like she wants her clothes.
Yeah.
And this chick comes in. Have I told you this story, or have you just heard it before?
You've told me it.
I'm just repeating myself then.
That's cool.
For some reason, I thought you hadn't heard it before.
No, I heard it.
Fuck you.
We're sharing with class. We're sharing with the class.
I swear I told them before too, though. So anyway,
Whatever. New class.
New class. You never know who hasn't heard this story before. So she comes in and she looks like she's been balling all night. Typical. And she sees me in her bed, and I will literally, if I ever get like, knock on wood, this is messed up to say, if I ever get like memory loss or dementia or anything that impedes my memory, there is no way I will ever forget the way she looked at me. She looked into my soul, bro, and she looked so mad. Like she looked, no, Amanda, there's no way you could even do it. Ironically,
Damn.
that was her name, Amanda, as well.
Oh God.
But like she looked at me with like such fire that I literally thought she was about to beat the shit out of me.
Oh God.
Yeah, I actually was like, holy shit, like in my pajamas, like damn.
Damn.
Like I was wearing the other girl's clothes because I
I'm
didn't
just
bring
being
pajamas.
platonic.
Yeah, we weren't though. So she looks at me and then she like whips the covers off of me to see if I'm naked, I guess.
Okay. Yeah,
Which is a
probably.
good play, I
Definitely.
guess. But I
Yeah.
wasn't.
You weren't. You were good.
Hello? Not yet.
Child of God.
Child of God. Totally, Amanda.
Yeah.
So she grabs her hoodies and she leaves, and I'm assuming, has like the worst night ever. Because that was actually kind of shitty. Like, I laugh now, because like I said, it was so long ago, water under the bridge. But it was actually like, was I shitty? That's what I want to know. That's why I'm telling you. Because like, I want to know if I was a bad person in that
Look,
situation.
when you're in high school,
This
like
wasn't high school,
emotions
by
run
the way.
high.
I
I'm gonna
am
say
so
that
far out
like
of high school.
everybody in that situation was a little bit shitty, but it wasn't your job to answer your ex's phone call when she was feeling bad.
Because she'd been
But,
using
like,
me the whole time, bro.
she'd
Like,
been
I was
using you
giving
the
her
whole
rides
time.
to school. I
But
was
you
like
know that the
buying her
reason why you
cigarettes.
started hanging out with the person you started dating was to like, that was not necessarily the best choice. You can't control the fact that you're like,
you
oh shit,
can't help who
actually,
you like, Amanda. We just said that.
I know, but you went out of your way to start.
I did. I really
Yeah.
did.
So it's like a
I
mix. But
pursued
you're in
it.
high school, you get a pass for that. But her being like a psycho, that's like, she's probably, I'm not going to say it.
So
it's like,
after that happened, we actually did end up getting together. We were together for like a year. Yeah. But like just like a week or two after, my ex cut off all her hair. And then one day after school, me and the new girl are walking out to my Jeep. And I see from afar like dicks all over my windows. Like there was like upright dicks on each of my windows, and then I had a Jeep, so like the really big back window had a giant chode on it.
Had Superbad just come out?
No, this was before Superbad, because this was in high school. I'm old, Amanda.
I know, but Superbad came out in like 2007, so like
yeah, that's the year I graduated. Maybe it was.
Maybe that's what inspired her.
I was a senior. Yeah.
Dick drawings.
Dick drawings, dude.
Everywhere.
So I couldn't get it off. I had to like go to the gas station and use the scrubber to get it off. It was really embarrassing. And I texted her right away. I was like, I can't believe you. She never answered me.
That would be if she answered. That's culpable. Like if she answered, like, she has deniability.
I really forget what I said. I wish I kept my flip phone and it like somehow still had my messages on it, because like I texted her with my flip phone and I was like, I can't believe you, Amanda. That's so immature.
It could be worse. I've heard worse.
Shit, dude. Yeah.
Hitch has had worse.
Dude, the sardine story is legendary.
Sardine story.
Dude. The
Maybe
sardine
we'll tell that
story
next
is legendary.
week. Maybe we'll get Hitch on to tell the sardine story sometime.
Oh, yeah. We have to have him on again. We haven't had him on since like the beginning. That was like how long have we been doing the podcast?
Almost a year.
Like
sometime after the holidays.
Off and on for a year.
Yeah. It was after Christmas. It was like sometime in like February or March or something we started.
Time really flies.
It really does. It's crazy.
All right. Enough about crazy people and making poor decisions in relationships.
Yep.
I think that's a good place to cut it. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time, a little bit of story time action, a little bit of advice action, a little bit of topical conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow. Next week, we should have a guest on. If it's not the guest I'm thinking of, I'm sure I'll rope another one in, because we've been I feel bad for this guest, Amanda. We've been meaning to have him on for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked out because of all the traveling.
Yeah, well, he was busy too, and then I was busy, and then I moved again, and it's just been bad. So we'll be back to normal scheduled program, recording it on Monday, uploading on Tuesday. For now, I hope you guys enjoy.
Monday is Christmas. So we will probably not be on schedule next week. Maybe we'll take next week off.
Yeah. Merry Chrysler, everybody.
Merry Chrysler.
I hope
we'll come back in the new year.
Yeah, I hope you guys all have a great Chrysler. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. If you want more stories or whatever, anything else you want to see us talk about, put in the comments.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, that's all I got. Subscribe to Amanda the Jedi's YouTubes. Follow her Twitch, or Twitter, and whatever else social media she's got going.
Hell yeah.
Follow me. Subscribe to the channel to catch more episodes of this. And I know I've been uploading inconsistently lately, but I'm about to start again. And I know I've said that like 17 times in 2017.
She about to bring the fire.
But trust me, I'm about to bring the fire. I don't got nothing else to do. So the fire's about to be brought.
There you go.
I'm so excited. I'm so like rejuvenated. So I'm really excited. So any Hooters, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys. Peace, chicken grease. Bye, Felicias.
Hey.
Good talk. See you out there.